Welcome to the Chemical Burrito YouTube channel. This is a video I really didn't want to make. This is my Anbernic RG505. You have actually seen this if you've watched some of my other videos. I have at least one video of this handheld playing Borderlands and for the Vita. And the reason that we're making this video today, as you can probably see, is that this handheld no longer works. So I was using it, I was playing an Android game, and basically I turned it off. I sat it on the desk, and I didn't even have it plugged in. I just came back the next morning, went to turn it on, and basically this happened. Pushed the button, nothing. And I've actually tried several things. Of course, the first thing I thought is, well, maybe the battery had died. Plugged it in, and light lit up red. Handheld still wouldn't power on though, and I actually let it charge until the light turned green, so the charging circuit still works, and tried to turn it on again, and nothing. I tried the usual hold the power button down and hold down volume to kind of reset the handheld, which has worked sometimes if it's just locked up, and you probably can't hear that, but it just vibrated. So it will vibrate. And you notice, of course, the screen did not turn on. In fact, kind of nothing happened here. I suspect that the screen is just gone here. Looking at it under the light, there seems to be some sort of blemish right here. It could just be that the OLED screen in there maybe just cracked itself. I don't know why it would do that, but I'm pretty confident that the reason that this handheld is dead right now is that the screen doesn't work anymore. But it was odd. I just had it literally sitting on the desk. I had just finished playing it and did nothing to it. Come back, next morning it's completely dead. So various things I tried. Of course, I opened up the back here, and as you can see in the back here, there's the battery. And first thing I tried was, since I have a Win 600, and I've had to do this with the Win 600, is unplug the battery cable right here. So tried that, let it sit for a bit, plugged it back in. Of course, it does exactly the same thing. I figured, okay, well, what's next? Well, here are the connectors that connect the screen. I actually have an RG505M that the screen ribbon had come a little loose, and I had to reseat that. So I figured, well, let's try reseating the screen ribbons here. Of course, nothing, because I think what killed this handheld is, in fact, the display. So if this actually uses a Vita display, if one of my Vitas ever dies, then maybe I could try to do a screen transplant. But for right now, this is probably good and dead. Here you can see the trigger mechanisms, just buttons here on this, little clicky buttons. This is a similar mechanism to the Win 600, which I found out when I took that one apart to upgrade the RAM and basically just unfreeze the BIOS. So joysticks, speakers here, processor I assume's under there, but I'm not going to take off the housing. I mean, I think what's dead on this is the screen. I could unscrew all this, but then I'd have to get a screen from somewhere. And at that point, is it really worth reviving a handheld that really doesn't do anything that my RG556 doesn't do? But so, and as you can see, I got my case here. I've kept this thing in the case ever since I got it. So I take care of my stuff, and this is one of the first handhelds I've had that's actually broken so soon, and it just essentially broke itself. And I think it's because of these handhelds, and Anbernic's certainly not alone in this. Anbernic, Retroid, all these other companies, I think, just have really lousy quality control. And you see problems all the time with Retroids, with triggers that break and don't work after a couple of weeks. You even see the Odin 2. People have complained about getting lines in the screen after a short period of time. Thankfully, mine seems to have not been in the period when those came out. But, you know, my RG405M had an issue where I had to reseat the screen cable, and people have complained with that handheld about, oh, the triggers break, the screen falls out. So I really think that a problem with these handhelds is, we all get excited when a new one comes out, but the quality control on these is pretty terrible. And just to compare, here's a PSP Go that I got back when PSP Goes were actually a thing. I didn't buy this one used. I bought this one new. And actually, I don't think I have actually played this one because it's been in storage. I don't think I've actually had this thing out. This is the first time I've gotten this thing out since probably 3 or 4 years ago. It's been just sitting in storage. I just plugged it into the charger, and I set the clock when I checked it before the stream, but hey, pops right up. And these official, you might say, name brand handhelds, your Sony handhelds like the PSP and the Vita, the Nintendo handhelds, of course, you can just about run over a Game Boy with a car and it'll still work. But this handheld, of course, no problems here. Works fine. And I've had this thing, like I said, since the PSP Go came out, and works perfect to this day. This Anbernic, when did I get it? Almost exactly 7 months ago. 7 months, and it just basically dies on its own compared to my Sony and Nintendo handhelds, which just keep going and going and going for years. So it's one thing, maybe we should actually start talking about this when we review these handhelds. We all get excited when a new handheld comes out, but how are these things going to last in 6 months from now, or in my case, 7 months from data purchase, and it's dead? And it's not like I did anything to it. This handheld's never been dropped. It's just been used, not quite daily, but close to daily for a little bit of time each day, and just gone, dead. So, like I said, video I didn't really want to make because I actually did enjoy the RG505. I kind of felt it was a little spiritual successor to the Vita here because it actually uses Vita screen. But how many other handhelds? I hope the RG556 honestly is made a little bit better than this one was. This one, the RG505, always had issues with like rattly buttons and things like that. But I can deal with rattly buttons. I can't deal with a handheld that just doesn't work anymore. But here, we'll let the RG505 have a nice little burial, and something to think about the next time we review the next upcoming handheld from Anbernic or Retroid or Miu. How long are these things really going to last? And is it a good idea to buy one of these handhelds knowing that the quality control is so bad? Because some of them aren't cheap. I mean, the RG505 is, even now, still over $100. So, something to think about. If you have any comments on handheld longevity or anything like that, or you would like to leave some flowers for my dead RG505, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. And I will see you next video, hopefully with some better news.